Good morning, everyone. This is Deborah Leanne,
Suzanne Joy.
and we're here with Morning Musings, and it's like our second last one of it's been a year. We've done these for a year, and so we'll have some kind of closure, and maybe we'll know what we're doing next, and maybe we won't, but that'll come next week. So for now, let's introduce the topic, please, Suzanne.
Okay, so we are dancing in Gene Key 12, and what we're talking about is Gene Keys written by Richard Rudd. And this 12th Gene Key, as all the other Gene Keys, has three different states of consciousness. And the shadow state or the human state is vanity. And out of vanity emerges the gift of discrimination. And then the acidic state is purity.
God, I love this.
And it's really talking about how, as humans, we have that pure heart. That's our natural state, and so we dance in all of those states of consciousness to just remember back to the purity of who we are.
Yes, I remember when I first started learning about the gene keys and so many of these shadows. I had my idea of what I thought vanity was, like vanity plates and that old was it Carole King song or whatever, that you're so vain. I mean, it was all that, you know, I, I don't know. I didn't have or maybe I wasn't ready for the deeper essence and the energetics underneath the word as Richard describes it in this in his book. And so looking at the shadow of vanity, I'm like, and how do you get to purity from that? I mean, it is a beautiful, literally a beautiful transcendence. And I'm so excited to dive in here with you. So how do you want to begin around the shadow? Because I have some thoughts, but I want you to do your thing because you always have all the codon ring and the partnering part.
Yeah, we've got the programming partner is the 11th, which is the light of Eden, and it's talking about moving from obscurity. So think of obscurity and vanity and discrimination and idealism and purity and light. So that's the programming partner.
Okay.
There, this is all again in the thyroid. The physiology is in the thyroid, and the codon ring is in the ring of secrets. Now,
Ah,
interesting is we don't know what the ring of secrets is. It's all enclosed in itself in the ring of trials. And so we don't know where it pops up. The ring of trials is gene key 12, the 33rd, and the 56th. But the ring of secrets, it comes when it comes. And
oh,
all
that's what. And he was talking about this being a stop codon, so that it's
yeah, it's a
yeah.
code within a code. So there's a secret embedded in it, and it stays dormant until it's time to come out. So and there is no amino acid because it's a terminator, as you said, it's a stop codon. So yeah, that's
So I'm curious in terms of, I mean, I don't even pretend to understand the codon rings and some of these things, but when he talked about this being um and most times we talk about a stop codon, it's something that's not ready to be put into place yet in all of humanity. And so it's going to take something to trigger it. So it's either like, increased radiation or something in our universe that will shift this in humanity. And until then, we just get to play within the different dimensions and experience the acidic state, the highest level, in the moments that we are blessed to experience it or to drop into it, I think. I played with it this morning in meditation, and the I just keep getting the message to slow down, and it's there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fun to me to learn more about the what I would like to start noticing when the vanity of me feeling separate. I mean, really, I think I'm that special that I'm separate from the whole. How that, what that shows up like and how that feels so that I can go, oh, there's my yellow warning light. Like I'm heading into that depth of that shadow and I don't want to go there. I want to operate from that space of discrimination, which is the gift. So do you want to speak to that at all? I mean, or like the reactive and the
Yeah, I will. The one thing that did come up, I think Richard was bringing it up in when he was talking in the 64 ways. Um, this thing of vanity, it keeps others at bay, and it's a childhood distrust. So I'm wondering if it came from another period of time, because children aren't typically distrusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of odd. But there's some type
yet,
of,
yet if you look at the psychological and the emotional intelligence of us all, somewhere by the age of 7, we have had our hearts broken. We
yeah.
have had something that has kind of um, dimmed our light in some way. We've been hurt and figured out that, oh, we're human. We're not just these little angels running around. You know, we have these bodies or we have these people and life is doing what it's doing. So there is something that happens that tends for us to lose our purity, you know, lose that sense of innocence, of trust.
Well, and there's also that fear. Yeah, you were talking about the fear of separation, but also a fear that another could take away your freedom.
And that I don't think I noticed much until I got older.
Yeah.
Like I can't go out and play. You're restricting my activities here, parent.
But that's definitely when we started having emotional caution.
Mm.
Um, so the repressive nature, when it comes out, that is typically, as he says, um, it's coarse vanity and refined vanity, and elitism is refined vanity, right? So
Mm.
elitism is basically working vanity undercover, like you feel as though you're better than other people, more spiritually evolved, I think he was talking about. And so it's a
Oh,
type
and
of,
there's a lot of that in our community
mm,
of people being like, oh, they're just not whatever, you know,
yeah,
they're not woke or they're not up.
they feel, yeah, they feel that they're being clearer or cleaner than other people on the path.
Hmm.
So they take a lot of pride in that. So that's the elitism. And so the reactive nature of this is malicious. So you actually use, everything is connected to the voice or the throat and the tone. Um, and so the reactive nature is malicious. It's the fear of receiving fully. So it keeps people away from their heart. So it's kind of
Oh,
like,
I know that one. Yeah, and that tone of our voice is so. Oh, I have a quote I want to at least end or get to when we get to the acidic state around that whole voice thing. But anyway,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah. So they do it maliciously to inflict pain on other people because they don't want to receive any love.
Don't get too close. Yeah. Okay.
So
So so this vanity of actually believing that we're different, separate, you know, not part of the whole. Um, when does that shift? I mean, how do we get to a place of discrimination then? Because it seems like, oh, well, first of all, discrimination in my mind, I mean, maybe because I grew up in the HR world since I was 20 years old. But it was such a big employment discrimination, right? Affirmative action and all of that. So I immediately go to discriminate. Really? Well, how does that? how can that be a gift? And so do you have any wise
Well,
words?
it's really about refinement in the heart and the mind. It's really focusing a lot on feelings and emotions. And once we, I feel like discrimination is more like, it feels like discernment to me, because you're able to feel it and know, is it, or you know, what's the word I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mm,
you're able to make, well, we call it creative. We're operating from a creative mindset where you're able to choose. Like I know I can feel that vanity part of me, yeah, and I'm choosing to go towards purity, to go
well,
towards
and it's
oneness.
just to be all of you and not,
Yeah,
you
to
know,
be and to be
not
honoring of the whole,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
However,
not
not acting on that maliciousness or elitism or whatever. So there's, to me, it's an awareness that there is that, and going, hello, and I'm choosing to operate here from love versus from the fear based. So it's, to me, it's yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably another word that we're both thinking of that has to do with discernment or discrimination, or to actually know that that's going on, and just like going, but you don't have power over me in this moment. You're not driving the car.
right. And it's also softening. I feel like there's a big softening in this area because it's allowing people in. It's opening your heart even more and allowing in. And it feels a lot lighter.
Absolutely.
So
That's where I am constantly going, where am I constricted? Where am I holding back the energy? When, and you and I doing this creating sacred space thing, it's like, where is there blockages? Where is there energy that can't get through? And the more I do that, the more I'm able to notice and go, oh, look at my shoulders. Oh, wow, my tongue is doing this weird thing in the corner. You know what I mean? Like I can feel it. And so that awareness is amazing. And that's part of that gift of discrimination, I believe.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I love that he says, this particular key, they are the true art lovers. They do not shy away from anything that is authentic, no matter how messy it may be.
Wow.
uh, they they're great. They're great people that um, they're great food discriminators, music discriminators, and language discriminators. And they become great artists and poets and actors and educators of humanity.
I love that. And it's true. There used to be a commercial about having discriminating taste. Was it for Grey Poupon?
Right.
Something for those with discriminating taste. So, but I'm laughing because I think of that in terms of going to the art museum. That to me, some people think is very elitist or whatever. And I was like, no, for me, that is a place to go and just enjoy and just be in the center of all of that beautiful art. So I love that. So now I can see it as a gift in a whole different way. And it feels opening, right? I can soften into that art or that beauty or that atmosphere. Or, at a concert, you always feel that like oneness. Everybody's like in the
Yeah.
music space, right? So, got it. Okay, cool. Ooh, I like that.
So that's very different from the typical understanding of discrimination. It's
Yeah,
more,
that word that sounds very like,
yeah,
yeah, you don't fit. And this is obviously different. This is all like we all fit.
that's right.
We all belong here.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have anything else to add to the gift? Because I want to jump into purity.
Um, I think I'm good.
So I absolutely loved this. And when he talks about the beauty of this space, and it brings to mind, I'm going to do a plug for the Triple Flame app that you can get on your phone, or the book, The Art of Contemplation, written by Richard Rudd, because I am such a fan of having those pauses throughout the day. And we used to laugh when you lived with me about I would see 808 all the time, morning, afternoon, I mean evening, and I just was like, because it had a an old thing that my that it meant Bob, according to my ex-husband. It's Bob o'clock, and I'm like, so it would have this literal, visceral thing in my body, and you kind of helped me see it that if I turn it on it sideways, it's like an infinity, triple infinity, and I was like, okay. So then I started every time I saw the 808, I'm like, you know. So and some people do it with 1111, different. So what I'm wondering is, when we drop into that pause space, that's where peace, purity, grace, infinite wisdom and universal love, all of those cities are right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you said earlier softening and opening into it, and that I just was like, oh, we got to do something about pausing.
Yep. Because and then that's the question of how as we pause, let's extend that more into our walking life.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
it's not
not just
like,
for closed eye meditation only. It's, can we
right,
be mindful
or on the mat, or, can we walk in a path of pausing and
in present?
contemplation and
Mm-hmm.
presence, and be there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Thank you for mentioning that, because that's something that I forget to teach. Very often when I teach the self-awareness of our centering practice, I do it with eyes closed, because people can drop in more easily that way.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, we got to take this into the world, folks.
Right.
Embodied leadership is taking this presence into action. And that's where we kind of, people, and my mind goes to messes, and, oh, I need to clean that up, and that person needs to do that. And I'm just,
We're all of it.
so this might be a good time to do the mudra for me anyway. So the mudra for purity is, you take your left pinky, I mean, sorry, your right pinky, and it goes into your left hand, so that you actually are holding that part of you. To me, it feels like I'm holding that part of that needs to be held to soften. Um, and then your two index fingers meet, and your thumbs go straight up, so that it looks like this. Yeah. And and you can feel in the very, very center your pinky finger being held, right? And this is interesting to me because it's our right side. So it's like holding that doing part, that active mind, that logical, got to do something, got to solve it, got to keep moving, and going, oh no, we've got you. And we're connected to all.
Yeah.
We used to do a thing about
Church.
church. Oh, open the doors, and here's all the
See
people.
all the people.
Here's the church, and here's the steeple. Open the doors, and here's all the people.
That's exactly what I thought of too.
But it's true. It's like, look how we're all together here in this church of humanity. It's no specific temple, whatever, sacred space. Yeah, we're all here.
Yeah. It doesn't, and what's so beautiful about purity, it does not depend on any external circumstances.
In fact, it's outside of any, or inside,
Right.
or in the middle of it all, or
Right. And this is really, I love this, because this is the embodiment of love, and that is our pure essence.
it is.
Purity, even saying the word and just imbibing it like a sip, you know, pure, the way it sounds and rolls around in your mouth.
Yeah. I've been, ever since I texted that message to you yesterday, I've been playing with the word imbued, imbuing. It's being called forth into us. And very often we use our voice. And interestingly, the last paragraph of this chapter, I'm just going to read a little bit about purified thought has an even more powerful effect. Spoken language uses sound, which restricts its impact to our solar system. Sound waves eventually disappear or dissipate. But language, cloaked in thought, travels at an almost inconceivable speed and literally rebounds off the walls of our universe. Only pure love can rupture the walls of a universe. See the 25th Gene Key. So, where I'm at is that this is the true symbolism of the genetic stop codon. It brings an end to your own individual existence, revealing vanity for what it truly is, the illusion that you are separate. You are so pure that it is not possible for you to exist as anything other than existence itself. In crossing the great cosmic throat center, you are swallowed by life itself. I know. You being called to do any additional?
I'm feeling called to pull a card from Patricia Wald Hopkins' Infinite Self deck.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
And it's just a reminder that we are completely pure. And we're all here for love, the soul of love, and let your heart sing.
Yep. So pure thoughts. Yeah. I'm going to play with that today, especially as I create a workshop video today. So
I was reminded, and this card that I just pulled reminds me to say this, you know, our purity is always tested. And it doesn't mean that we're out of purity. It's just tested. It's kind of like we're being refined, right? And this week's message is all about transformation. And so this card is the Morpho Butterfly Fairy Goddess, and she transmits the frequencies of universal love and universal consciousness to activate your DNA and cellular tissues to experience more joy, happiness, connection to all. Be open to serendipitous events in your life. And then I'll put this card in there because there's some oils in there that you probably may want to play with.
Play with? Ooh. Yes, please. I am so reminded to keep slowing down, to slow down.
Yeah.
And then you think you're slowing down. And I'm like, no, slow down even more. And I'm like, but then how do you get anything done? But you know what's funny is when I do those rests, you and I have been playing with that different days this week. The next day we're like on fire, boom, stuff is getting done. And then and then deep rest. So I'm learning to honor that versus that old one of my gene keys is force. Oh, let me tell you, let me push right on through. And I don't want to do that anymore. That's not true to me. So anyway, thank you for opening your heart and spirit and letting us see it, Susanne Joy. It's so much fun to do these with you.
Yeah, it's fun with you too.
Take care, everyone. Till our next time together.